Hey everyone, this is Alex. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you a dip mani using Pampered Pretties. I had a lot of fun doing this mani. I don't normally gravitate towards any kind of leopard print or animal print, but I wanted to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. So when I saw these decals, I knew that, I needed to jump on that. So right now I'm just kind of getting everything started. I already applied my peel base, which was the Delumars peel base. Amazing peel base, one of my favorites. And then now I'm going right into my first dip of Little Red Dress. It's a gorgeous red. It's got this really amazing sparkle in it. And I really enjoyed working with it. Great coverage. So I have my Pampered Pretties base that I just applied, and here is my first dip. I'm using a precision tool, a Pampered Pretties precision tool, to kind of go around my cuticle edges and clean all that up. I love precision tools, but if you don't have one, a orange stick works just as well. It really helps later on when you're filing, getting that perfect cuticle line. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch as I get this first layer on, and then I will be back with you soon. Okay, we are all finished up with our second layer. I'm just dusting off the last bit of that excess powder, and then we are ready to move on to the next step. I only did 2 dip layers because the coverage was so fantastic and I really didn't feel like another one was necessary. So here we are into the gel part of this mani. I'm using Sundara's gel base and gel top coat, and I started doing this a little while ago under my waterslide decals using a white gel polish. It just kind of saves time, and I still do white, like a white dip powder as well, but I'm really liking this white gel polish, and I'm using New Moon from Sundara, and I'm going to do about 2 layers of this, and then it's the perfect base for my waterslide decal. ready, and now it's time for our water slide decal. Now, in the beginning, when I first started ambassadoring for Pampered Pretties, I was a little terrified of water slide decals. I tried them before and I'd had mixed results. I can say that what you need to do is practice. Practice. It got so much easier with time. Of course, I had a lot of great advice from a lot of great nail friends who were very patient with me when I was going through this learning process, but it was totally worth it. It's so much fun. I love being able to add just a little something to a mani, and this is a great, easy way to do it. So I cut out my water slide decal. It's all hanging out in the water there so we can get ready for separating. I'm using Maniology sticky base coat, and I'm applying that right on to that gel polish nail. And then I'm going to let that dry for a minute and let my water slide decal hang out in the water and get my other stuff ready. So I'm using that 100% pure acetone. I like to pour just a little in the lid. I'm going to be using that to go around my water slide decal after I apply it to my nail. It just cleans up the edges, and it's a nice, safe way to do that without destroying the decal. I'm also jumping in and activating these red nails real quick while I'm waiting, because I'll be able to start filing as soon as I'm done applying this water slide decal. Now I'm using Wild Thang, and so much fun. It was part of the new release, Valentine's Day release that Pampered Pretties did, and if you love it, I will make sure I put a link in the description of my video when it's done, so you'll have to go check it out. So anyways, I go ahead and I grab this with my tweezers, and I kind of take off a little bit of that excess water. Sometimes I'll lay it on a paper towel as well, and then I just gently push it down. You have to be ginger with these things. They can be a little delicate, so take your time and kind of just pat down around the edges. And remember, we're going to go with our angled brush that you saw me grab, which is just a makeup brush. I got it, at Fred Meyer, I think, on sale. So an angled makeup brush with my acetone, and then going around that water slide decal. Just like so. And what's nice too is that any that ends up on your skin as well, because you'll see I have little nails, so even these full nail wraps, they're never to size for me. And you can cut them down. That's just not something, I don't know, I just don't think about it when I'm cutting it out. I just get excited about the nail decal and I forget that part. So this is great, a great little tool, and you can just literally melt away the edges very gently. You can clean up any excess on your skin. It works fantastically. Okay, I'm all done cleaning that up, and now I'm going to go with my gentle top coat and apply that over. Now you can also do like a smudge-free top coat. Maniology has one. I do have that as well. I end up gravitating towards the gel top coat. I just feel like it gives me a little bit more of a seal, and it works really well. It's funny, when you see the final product, this water slide decal will not be shiny, and that's because I kind of changed my mind last minute. I decided to do all of it matte instead of just the one, so that's why that looks a little bit different. But now that my water slide decal nail is all taken care of, I'm going to jump into my filing. Now I like to use these Makartt files, this 100, 180 grit, and it's kind of like a staple. I'm always reaching for that file. So I use a combination of this file, my Pampered Pretties sponge 100, 180 grit file, which is also amazing. I love that file. And my Pampered Pretties buffing block. And I will just go around each nail and clean it up. I actually don't have to do a lot of filing on the top. This powder like really just, like I said, coverage was smooth and it went on really nicely. There's actually not a lot of filing I have to do, which is always a bonus. We're coming to the end of my filing and buffing, and I'm taking my stiff nail brush and just getting all that dust off and getting ready to clean everything up. I use an alcohol prep pad. Sometimes I will also just rinse with warm water as well. But I was not by my sink and I didn't want to leave you guys to go do that. So I'm using an alcohol swab, just cleaning up and getting ready for my next step, which is to go around my cuticles with this amazing little glass cuticle pusher. I love these things. You do need to be careful with it, especially like in the beginning when you first buy them. They're super sharp, so you need to be careful not to gouge your cuticles, but it just is so good at getting out all of that excess little bits of powder, you know, peel base, whatever gets in that cuticle area. These glass cuticle pushers are definitely my favorite in cleaning up that cuticle line. Okay, now I'm just finishing up, cleaning up that cuticle line and getting it all the way I want it. And now we're ready for final touches. Now I decided to do this matte, and that was very hard for me because look, I mean, you can see just how pretty this red is, shiny. But I saw some inspiration on Pinterest a while back, and that was this matte red, and I was like, you know what, I think this mani needs to be matte. So I grabbed my Sundara matte gel top coat, and I'm just going and applying here, making sure my layer is nice and even and thin, not putting too much product on, and getting all around my cuticle area, so the whole nail is matte. when I first used matte gel polish, I was applying it and I wasn't thinking about, you know, all those little areas on the sides. And I had like this line of shiny and the rest was matte. So I'm extra careful with that now. And then I'm going to go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds. And then see if I want to add another layer or if it's just ready to alcohol and be done. All right, curing is all done. Look at that gorgeous matte. Okay. Now grab your alcohol swab and make sure you rub those because the matte gel top coat is not a no wipe formula, so you need to make sure you wipe it so it's not all sticky. And now we're going to add a little bit of bling. These little nail art gems are so much fun. I got this off Amazon and I've used it several times and I love them. They add a little extra something to your mani. So I'm going and I'm getting out 2 different sizes as I wanted to do like a larger little diamond in the middle and then 2 smaller ones on the side. So I'm actually using the other side of my precision tool, the wax tip. It works pretty well for this. Sometimes I use tweezers. I kind of go back and forth. I feel like some days the tweezers work great, some days the little wax side works great, but one way or another I get it on my nails, so that's all that matters. So I'm going to apply like a little bit of gel base, pretty much little dots right where I want my gems, and that is what's going to stick those little gems to my nail. So I apply that little bit and then I start placing. I really like using the gel base to attach my little gems. I can manipulate it so much easier. I find with dip base you have to be very happy and very accurate with where you're putting it because it dries so fast. And gel base, I can kind of move them around and make sure they're in the position that I want them to be in. And then I cure that for 60 seconds and boom, they're on there. Okay, now we're ready for cuticle oil. I'm using Scales of a Mermaid, just Peachy Bitch. It's fantastic, I love the smell. It's not super strong with peaches, but just has a nice fruity smell, and I like it a lot. All right, final product. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will have everything down in the description, what I used and links and all the fun stuff, and of course the discount codes. Please let me know if you like this video or if there's anything specific you want to see, and thank you so much.